Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is a 2019 overview. So we'll be focusing on the energies for each sign for each of the months. For my returning viewers, welcome back. And for new viewers, welcome. I'm glad that you found me here on YouTube. The way that the reading is done, I pull a card for each of the months, plus I pull an extra card for sort of each quarter. So we take a look at each month and then sort of look at that quarter as a whole. And it's just to kind of see what energies are surrounding us as we move through, or as we look forward to 2019. For the reading, I'll be using the Tarot of the Spirit deck by Pamela and Joyce Eakins, and I will also use the Zillich Tarot by Christine Zillich. These are general readings. I like to remind everybody that the messages may or may not resonate. The only way to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading from me. If you are interested, all of the information can be found in the description box below this video. All right, so I will stop for now, and we'll see each of the signs in 1 second for the shuffle. Hi Pisces, hope you're doing well. I'm here to get into your 2019 overview. As you can see, I have shuffled off camera and have laid the spread here. So it is a little different the way that I go through the yearly overview. So you can see around sort of the outside, there's one card for each of the months of the year. And then we have the smaller cards, which is sort of one for each quarter. Okay, and so I'll talk about each of the months, and then I will, look at sort of the overall energy for those 3 months. And then at the center is, the heart of the year for you. So we have a different deck. I decided to use the Osho Tarot deck. And so there's sort of an overall message for the year at the heart. And I'll get to that at the end. All right, so let's start off. Here we go, January. For the month of January, you have the Five of Fire. This is the Five of Wands. In this deck, it's called the Struggle. For the month of February, you have Major Arcana number 5, the Hierophant. For the month of March, you have the Eight of Fire, which is the Eight of Wands, and this would be, it's called the Lightning Path in this particular deck. And the overall energy for the first quarter of the year, you have the Knight of Swords. This would actually be the King, okay? In this Zillich Tarot deck, the Knights are actually the Kings, so the King of Swords. So, looking at January, the Five of Fire, a Five of Wands oftentimes comes out when you are competing against other people. So this can be, within the workplace, if you are competing for a promotion, going out for a new job. So it's a card of conflict, but it's more to do with kind of, struggling against other people. So competing against others, trying to stand out from, somebody trying to gain the alpha position, right? And since it is fire, it's dealing with, the day-to-day matters in life. So the work that we do, it has to do with the, like creativity, creative endeavors, projects, business endeavors. And so there could be, in January, a situation where, you might be going up for a job. You might be competing against other people, trying to, there's sort of a sense of conflict. And it might, this conflict, it could be happening outside of you, you struggling against these other people. But in actuality, it could be within you, so you feel as though it's you feeling, that you're struggling against the others. It's you feeling, that, oh, I have to win. I can't lose. I have to come out on top here. But, it's just, it's more about this internal struggle more than external, even though, you might be actually going up against others. It's really more about sort of mind over what is happening. The Hierophant for February is, it's a major arcana, and it could be dealing with, we usually associate the Hierophant with, large religious institutions, can also be other large institutions that follow, rules, ceremonies, that type of, that type of structure. So it could be the government, the court systems. It can be large educational institutions, so universities, those types of things. It can also be seeking out counsel, so seeking out spiritual counsel, legal counsel, seeking knowledge, connecting with your higher self as well, right? So it's about, moving forward, trusting in the messages that you're getting, and to find answers. It's about sort of quietening the mind and listening to answers from your higher self. So there's also this spiritual type of connection with the Hierophant. You could be, really using this to help you with whatever you were struggling with in the month of January. This, possibly work-related issue, you trying out for the new job. This could be you in February really trying to, tune in spiritually, seeking out the answers, and listening to those inner guides, listening to, quietening your mind and listening to that to help you as you move forward. And then it's like March, there's answers, right? So very fast-paced energy for the month of March. Again, more fire energy. We have the 8 of Fire, or 8 of Wands, which is, it's like there's change in the air. So with this card, there could be correspondence coming through quite quickly. This can be emailing back and forth. If this does have to do with this job opportunity, it's like by March, you have the answer that you were waiting for, okay? So it's a very fast-paced, a very high-energy time here, or period, for beginning change. It's like change is in the air, There's a lot of very fast growth happening at this time. Things are coming to you. You have to kind of catch it when it comes at you, and really go after whatever this opportunity is. So it's like you go in the first quarter of 2019, and especially summed up here by this Knight of Wands. The Knight, or the King of Wands, is, Swords. I'm looking at the Wands and thinking it's the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is somebody who uses his intellect, right? He is, if there's a situation to deal with, he is all about using his mind, using, his rationale. He's very just. He can also be a man of counsel, and we have the Hierophant here. So again, there could be a situation where you might need to get counsel, might need to seek out counsel, whether this is, to do with the legal system or not. This could be, seeking out spiritual counsel, or going to a counselor or a psychologist. But this is somebody who definitely is very fair and, uses his mind, is very good at communicating, getting his ideas, getting his point across to other people. And, with this is the overall energy, you could be dealing with this individual. He is, when we have court cards appear, they can be people. If so, this would typically be an older air sign individual, male or female, even though he appears as the king. It's not gender specific. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And again, he is, he's a very fast-paced energy, right? He's fire of air. And so he's, he has his sword drawn. He's charging ahead here. He's very skilled. He's very courageous, very acute. So, this could be either this individual or how you are approaching this first, quarter of 2019. So again, sort of wrapping it up here. Maybe, this conflict, but it's more to do with going up against other people. This opportunity, maybe this is you trying out for some type of opportunity within the school system, whether you're going out for a job there, or you're trying to get into university or get into graduate school. You know, or if this is a job, this is you trying out for this job, and then, you know, waiting to hear, could even be, you know, dealing with the human resources department here. And then it's like, finally, you have this answer coming in and it's positive and there's change. So interesting first start of the year. So moving into the second quarter, you have for April, the One of Wind. So this would be the Ace of Swords, and it's called Dawn. Followed by, for May, the Two of Fire, Convergence. This is the Two of Wands. And for June, the Nine of Fire. In this deck, it's called the Eye of Fire. And for the second quarter of the year, you have the overall energy of the Six of Discs. And in this deck, it's called Success. So the Ace of Wind, or the Ace of Swords, aces in the Tarot are new beginnings. They're blessings from the universe. And with it being, again, more air energy here, it can be a sort of an epiphany. It can be enlightenment, kind of like that aha moment, you know, when you finally figure something out. This can be a brand new way of thinking, a new, you know, sort of paradigm or a new mindset. It could have something to do with this new opportunity here for you that you have in the first quarter of the year. So it's like there's, and it's also, you know, it's a yes card. Again, if there's something you've been waiting for an answer on, the aces, they come in to say yes. There's a yes to that, whatever that question was. And it's also very positive. You know, it's a positive card, new beginnings, new way of thinking. Followed by the Crossroads. The Two of Wands is usually referred to as the crossroads, where you're sort of standing at this crossroads, staring down both paths, trying to figure out which way to go. You might be weighing up whether or not you need to go with this new opportunity, or whether or not you need to go in a different direction, change jobs, move house, you know, whatever this change in direction is for you. You could be in the month of May really weighing things up and trying to figure this out. By the time you get to June, you have the Eye of Fire, the Nine of Fire, and this is it's a defensive type of energy, because it's like you're resting, you're tired, but you're not letting your guard down. You're sort of moving forward, but you're aware that there might be, you know, that last obstacle that you need to get over, that last thing that you might need to do before reaching, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to reach or to finish. It's nearly the 10, right? We know that 10s in the Tarot are endings. They're completions. And so you're nearly completing a chapter. So, you know, possibly this news that you found out about in the first quarter, it's like by the time you get to, you know, midway through the year, you're nearly closing out that chapter. Now, the Six of Discs as the overall energy, that is, it's earth energy. So it deals with the tangible things here in the material realm. So the work that we do, the money that we earn, has to do with our resources, financial stability, our home, family, knowledge, education. And in this deck, it's called Success. Usually the Six of Discs, it can be referred to as the mentor-mentee card. It's when, you know, you have enough that you are able to give to others. You're able to help others in some way, or you might be on the receiving end. You know, sometimes it's about getting loans, going to the bank, you know, getting money or asking for money, being granted a personal loan, or it could be repaying, somebody coming to you and repaying, or you giving of yourself, or somebody giving to you. There's this, you know, give and take with the Six of Discs, but there is ultimately success here. As you head into the last half of the year, for the month of July, you have the 10 of Wind. This would be the 10 of Swords, the Way of the Cross. August, you have the One of Water, Open Channel. This is the Ace of Cups. And September, you have Mother Wind. So this would be the Queen of Swords. And as the overall energy for the third quarter, you have the Six of Swords. In this deck, it's called Science, but this is the Six of Swords. So, you know, in July, there could be a completion here. It's like, I know we have different suits with, you know, the Nine of Fire here, but the Ten of Wind or Ten of Swords, it's usually kind of the bottom point, you know, the low point. Things can only get better from here. And after this comes the Ace. It comes the Ace of Swords or Ace of Wind, and you do have that here. So it's like there are some endings and beginnings that are trying to take place over the, you know, the sort of this second and third quarters of the year here. And with the Ten of Wind or Ten of Swords, it is an ending, right? So there might have been a particularly difficult situation that you had to deal with, but there's an ending here, and you're, you know, moving into, which we have in the next month, right, in August, with the Ace of Water, Ace of Chalices or Cups. There's this beautiful new beginning, another blessing, right? A new opportunity. This could be a new offering of love. This could be a new opportunity, again, within the workplace, but that brings you great emotional fulfillment and joy. This can be a healing energy. This can be a renewal of a relationship, you know, healing of a relationship. And then September with the Queen of Wind, so the Queen of Swords, she's could be an individual. If so, this could be even your own mother. This could be an older air sign individual, so Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. And she's somebody who's very direct. She uses her words. She's very, you know, to get her point across. She's very diplomatic. If there's a situation to handle, she always, you know, uses her intellect over anything else, right? So she's very astute. She's very she knows what she wants, and she uses her intellect. She's very rational. So she knows how to get what she wants, but by using her mind. And with the Six of Swords as the overall energy, this is a card of transition. It's one of the two transition cards in the Tarot. Eight of Cups, Six of Swords, those are both transition cards. And it typically speaks of moving out of a difficult situation into a better one, right? And in the traditional Tarot, the Six of Swords usually shows a woman being rowed away in a rowboat, you know, sailing out of choppy waters, heading into calmer waters. So again, we get that here with the, you know, leaving behind choppy waters, heading into calmer waters. So there's a transitioning period. There's a moving forward, a moving into something that is going to be better for you. That's going to be, you know, more in line with what you want, sort of at a soul level. You know, this is a deep felt happiness here. So transitioning into this better phase for you. Now, the last portion of 2019, you have, for the month of October, the Eight of Earth. In this deck, it's called the Mountain. Okay, so this would be the Eight of Pentacles, followed by Major Arcana number 11. Did I say Major Karma? I'm sorry. Major Arcana. It's called Karma. It's number 11 of the Major Arcana. And also for the month of December, you have Major Arcana number 9, the Hermit. So powerful last part of the year here with two Major Arcanas coming in for November and December. And the overall energy for the last quarter, you have the Queen of Discs. This is the Queen of Pentacles. So, you know, it looks like a focus here on finances, your resources, possibly your home, your family. And then, you know, as you head out of 2019, heading into the next year, there's a lot of, a lot of divine orchestration at play, but possibly, also a lot of very fated, very karmic events coming in, even to do with, your work, the way that you make money, coming in for you there. In the traditional tarot, the Eight of Earth or Eight of Pentacles is oftentimes referred to as the Apprentice card, and it has to do with, somebody who's very dedicated to their particular craft, or, trying to improve, trying to really become the best that they are at whatever it is that they do. So oftentimes when the Eight of Earth comes out, or Eight of Pentacles, it has something to do with, improving yourself, whether this is on a sort of more personal level, or, looking at like career or education. This could be you taking some additional classes, doing on-the-job training, getting certified to do something, going back to school, or going, beginning college or university, or going back to school to get your master's degree, or, however it plays out for you. And we did have that over here as well. And in this deck, it's called the Mountain, because it really has to do with perseverance, and how the real keys to our success in anything that we do, whether this is personal, within the workplace, or within, the school, or, the educational environment, has to do with commitment and discipline and perseverance. That's how we really succeed, right? And so, if you are, as you head into this last part of the year, I think it's about keeping your eye on the, the pinnacle here. What is it that you're ultimately trying to achieve? And then you have these two very powerful cards here with the Karma, which it's actually the Justice card, right? The Justice card speaks of karmic justice. It can also speak of the legal system, so the court system. So actually, justice being served, in the sense that there might be legal proceedings. If so, then this is usually positive, and legal proceedings going in your favor. Can also have to do with understanding, the the results of our own actions. So how, every action, obviously, that we take does have a consequence. And so it's about sort of owning, the consequences of your own actions. And so obviously, if you're this is an example, if you're taking the initiative, you're going back to, to study, well, obviously, by doing that, it's, bettering it's for your own betterment, but it's also, it could put a strain on, your home life, on your finances. So it's all about sort of weighing things up and understanding, and owning how your actions have consequences. And, we have to also be, pay attention to that. There's also karmic justice at play. So if you have been working very, very diligently, it's like now the scales of justice are being tipped in your favor, and things are going, it's like you're getting what you deserve now. You've put in the effort, and now things are paying off. And heading out of the year with the Hermit card, this is a very spiritual card. This is a card that speaks of sort of seeking the truth, whether this is, spiritual truth, sort of the, trying to understand the greater mysteries of life, or your own truth, right? So it's about also looking within, going within, returning to yourself, accepting yourself. And, it's really difficult for us to kind of focus on the outside, which I think, and that's interesting, because it's almost like you begin and you end the year here with this kind of, it's like a closure, where there's you begin with this struggle, and then it's like you have this kind of spiritual enlightenment by the time you get to the end of the year. And the overall energy for the last quarter of the year, the Queen of Discs, the Queen of Pentacles, she's a very solid, stable energy. She's like the sort of the Earth Mother, right? She's very resourceful. She's very good with her finances. She's somebody who knows how to make money. She's also somebody who knows how to hold on to her money even if money's a little scarce, she's very resourceful with what she does have. She takes care of those around her, very loving, very nurturing, and she shows her affection to others in a very tangible, hands-on way. So, she cooks for them. She actually physically cares for them. Obviously, as an earth sign, this can have to do with the workplace, can have to do with your education or knowledge again. If this is an individual, this would typically be an older earth sign, so Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, or this could just be the energy that, surrounding you as you head into the last portion of the year. And the heart of the matter for 2019, so the overall energy for the year is moment to moment. This is number 2. It's the 2 of rainbows. In this deck, that would be the 2 of pentacles, right? So if we think of the 2 of pentacles in the traditional tarot, I'll give you the kind of the general meaning, and then I want to read the message, the Osho Zen message that goes along with this card, because it is, it's quite different. So in general, the 2 of Pentacles is a card of balance, right? It's a card of finding that balance within our lives. And since it is earth energy, Pentacles, it can be, actually balancing or trying to make ends meet each month, or trying to balance our finances, trying to balance different areas of our life, balancing our home with our work life, balancing our friends with our study. So it's about finding that balance within our lives. And as it is Pentacles, it can be related to, the money that we earn. So our jobs, it can be education, our family, home, career. So, and it's interesting because it's called moment to moment, and you can see how he's it's like he's leapfrogging from one stone to the next here, right? So let me read you the Osho Zen message for this card. It says, "The past is no more and the future is not yet. Both are unnecessarily moving in directions which don't exist. One used to exist but no longer exists, and one has not even started to exist. The only right person is one who lives moment to moment, whose arrow is directed to the moment, who is always here and now, wherever he is. His whole consciousness, his whole being is involved in the reality of here and in the reality of now. That's the only right direction. Only such a man can enter into the Golden Gate. The present is the Golden Gate. Here now is the Golden Gate. And you can be in the present only if you are not ambitious, no accomplishment, no desire to achieve power, money, prestige, even enlightenment, because all ambition leads you into the future. Only a non-ambitious man can remain in the present. A man who wants to be in the present has not to think, has just to see and enter the gate. Experience will come, but experience has not to be premeditated." And so the card really, what it does is it challenges us. It challenges us to move away from our worries, our preoccupations with other spaces, other times, and really focus on the here and now, right? When we kind of leave behind all our judgments, when we leave behind any type of attachment, and we make ourselves available to what is going on in the present, in the here and now, that's when we're really living. And I think that looking at your overview, the year overview as a whole, I do see, I see opportunities, I see new beginnings, I see a lot of growth, a lot of, internal growth, spiritual growth, a lot of fated, even, opportunities coming to you. Even looking back here at sort of this card from the second part of the year, where you have this One of Wind, the Ace of Wind, which in this deck is called Dawn. This is another card that really asks us to, to focus your attention on the present, right? By attending, sort of listen to the present, accept the potential of the future, but, focus on focus on this new idea that's taking hold of your mind here in the present, right? The Two of Fire, again, it's a card that suggests that you're making this decision, right? You're being asked to make this decision here in the present, knowing that it ultimately will affect you down the line, that it will affect your future, but the decision comes here in the present. So, you feel that you have this direction where you're heading, but and you still might need to go through different struggles and, face a few obstacles as you move through the year. But ultimately, you have this sort of new internal sense of balance as you begin this, and you have success, and you have, moving, transitioning into better things, into more stable energy. So I think by focusing on, leaving moment to moment, focusing on the present, being present as you move through the year, that's what's going to bring you success. That's what's going to bring the achievements into your life as you move through 2019. So I do hope that the messages have helped you. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful 2019. Bye for now.